Alright. I just did a whole draft, but I just realized that my microphone was off. So I kind of felt like a complete idiot. Um, so here, I guess, is round 2 of draft time. And staring back at us is Holy Ground, which is an awesome AoE spell. So, card I don't mind taking first because I know if I go Paladin, I'm going to play it. Time Walker Grunt is probably the best one drop you can ask for in the Orc deck. Ogre Marksman is a card I like just in any Horde deck, so I don't mind taking him because like the Grunt is only good really in the Orc deck, but this guy's good in any deck. Unstoppable Abyssal, I didn't like him at first, but I mean really he's just a 4/4 in any deck, and he has a good ability, so I don't mind taking him because it leaves you open, which I really like in this format because it lets you read signals. So right now for me it's Unholy Ground or Unstoppable Abyssal, and I think it's better to take Abyssal just because it keeps us open. None of the quests were really anything I was going to run out to just start taking. We got Past a Marco Malorn, which I think is one of the top 3 commons in the set. It just offers so much tempo early in the game. There's 4 Alliance allies I can see, and they're all good in their respective decks. I think I like the 2/3 the best just because it fits in any. If it's good in the Night Elf deck, it's good in the human deck, where that's not the same for Lady Bancroft or Ian. Tarwilla, it's fine, but nothing special. None of the Horde guys are anything to write home about. I could just take Markham Lorne and just. It offers enough. Or I could take the Crusader. Those are really the 2 picks. Like, he's good in any Alliance deck. Let's take the Mark. And if we just randomly pick up another Mark here or there, that's a good start to any deck. None of the 3 abilities at the top are exciting. Like, Blind Rage is good in like an Orc deck. There's 3 Horde allies, which are meh right now. Like, I don't, I'm not really looking to play Horde, I guess, just because I passed good Horde guys already. I just passed up on a good Alliance guy. There's only 1 in this pack. I could just try to draft Monster. I could take the Shibra, but usually she comes back late, so I could take the Fire Caller. Let's just stay open. We'll take the Fire Caller. Maybe we'll go Monster, maybe we'll go something else. Who knows at this point. Plus, these 2 allies are fine in like a big Horde ally deck. Like when I draft Horde, I kind of just like drafting the best drops. I don't want to focus on one race at all, and these guys fit well in those type of strategies. So that seems fine. Jadefire Netherseer is important in the monster deck just because there's not really many monster 1-drops. There's 2 good Horde 2-drops, so I could go down that, what I was saying, like the good Horde ally deck. Earthen Crusher's an awesome 3-drop for a Monster Hunter deck, just because their other 3-drops are not really good options. There's only 7 players, so I gotta keep note of that. So when I try to wheel stuff, there's a higher chance it happens now. I'm gonna take the 1-drop. He's gonna make my deck a large percent of the time, no matter what I play. But it lets me play Monster. Alright. I like Focus Heal, especially if you go a Monster, just because it... Like, we have these 4 health allies, and that usually is enough to trade for 2 allies. Focused Heal makes that 3 or 4 allies, so that's fine. I also like Helm of Thorns in this deck, because we don't have a lot of cheap drops that are... Or lets us just control the cheap drops, which is the way Monster usually loses, is just getting rushed out. Spalders of Eternity is another card which is awesome, so if I keep a couple allies in play, this will be ally removal plus armor, which lets us live longer. And there's Quest. I think I like taking the Spalders, just because it's like ally removal, and then hoping that the Helm will wheel. Alright. couple options. So I don't have a faction yet, and this is a very late Crusader. I think this guy should go picks 1 through 3. So seeing one this late makes me kind of think, oh, well, maybe I should be in Alliance. We could also take Ancient Bear form, which helps us keep our big monsters in play, which is always a good thing. There's a late Aerostorm, and none of the quests are anything to write home about. A Crusader this late, considering there's only 7 players, it's a pretty good sign that Alliance is open. But Ancient Bear form could cut that off. I'm going to take the Bear form. I've already passed a Crusader, so if I'm putting people in factions, there's a higher chance I'll be the only monster player at this table, which will work out for us well. 3 drops, those are the allies you worry about most in the monster deck. So there's 2 good 3 drops in this pack, and there's another Earthen Crusher somewhere in the mix already in this draft. I like both of these allies a lot in the monster deck. I hate the flip we get, though, by playing Druid. The flips just aren't very exciting. We need something big to want to ramp, and we need a lot of resources to use a second flip. I'm going to probably take the Child just because it works with the 4-drop that you need 2 monsters in play, and it's easier to keep this Child in play with Ancient Bear form. So that's what I'm going to pick. And then there's another Crusher's coming. Yeah, there's a Crusher in this pack, so we'll just slam down Crushers. I could take Documenting the Time Waste, but I find a lot of people undervalue quests, and you get them later. So I'd rather just short my allies, because there wasn't really that many monster allies in these packs. The only other ally I really expect to come back is maybe the Shivra. I passed so many good Horde and Alliance allies that I don't think anybody else should be in Monster, because I haven't really seen any reasons for them to be in it. Alright, so it looks like it's time to start taking quests. I could take the Blessing, which is fine in the Druid deck, but I find it's more of a sideboard card when you want to take bigger allies out with your small allies. So the choice would be between Archival Purposes and Documented Time Ways. They're both approximately the same cards, so I'm just going to take Archival Purposes since it really doesn't matter. The Helm of Thorns came back, but there was another one in the following pack, so I think there's a chance that we'll get it. There's no reason not to take the monster ally. Especially, like, Helm of Thorns is common, so getting one isn't going to be a problem, because nobody usually just jams them down, so. Nothing really in here for us, but I think the pick is Hidden Strike. Like, it still works with our being rogue would work with Spalders of Eternity. And, like, we do have 2 good Druid cards, but nothing we can't get away from. And Hidden Strike is removal. I mean, we always want removal. Nothing in here for us except for this Focused Heal, so we will take that. Some people like Path of Dragon Soul. If you've listened to any of these videos, you know I think it's atrocious. I want my cards to gain me value, not lose me value. My problem with Path, I guess, is it's more like card filtering, kind of like Seeds of their Demise. So it's more valuable earlier in the game, but typically you need to use all your resources early in the game to kind of keep pace with your opponent. So we're not completing it until later in the game, but at that point, we don't need to filter. We want to draw cards. So there's no point where I think it's really valuable. This is a late Well of Eternities, but we're going to take a sideboard quest, Vainglorious. We'll take the Mind Crush. It works with our Focused Heal, plus the Lady Vash's flips are really good. So something draws us in towards playing priest, like more like 3 mind crushes or something, I'd rather have that option. I'd rather have more removal than not. So, oh, let's collect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 allies, 6 allies, 2 quests. All right. So I have 1 drop, 0 2 drops, 1 3 or 2 3 drops, and 2 4. So that's a good starting base. But let's see what we can get. I like strike a lot in the monster deck. You usually don't do anything on 1, so that gives you an option. If you're playing second, it's even better. There's the Felguard Marauder, which is a very good 2 drop since it has 2 or 3 health. I mean, usually you can trade for 2 cheap allies. There's a Terror Guard, which I like to wheel. There's a bow, which would be good if we wanted to go hunter. I think I'm going to take the Marauder, hope for the strike to come back. If it doesn't, hope to get the Terror Guard. That would be my plan for this pack. And then quest being the backups to those options. Oh, okay. Demonic Confusion's just like strike. But considering we have Mark of Malorn, we'd rather go down that route. Child is like Blitz, but it's playable by any class. Plus, it's just an ally. So I'm a big fan of Child. I'm not really looking at the faction allies just because I think I want to just go monster at this point. Just because I won't get any more synergy because I already have a lot of monsters as it is. The only other options really archival purposes. So, try against Child of Gauldron's getting slammed down. Alright, so we get rewarded with a second copy of Mark of Merlorn. I could pass it, but I don't want to give anybody a signal, because usually people are still looking like, hey, what class should I be? I'm really hoping this Child will wield, because if I get this in play and then cast the Mark on it, usually leads to some beatdowns. Yeah, well, I mean, the pick is really between Mark and Child. And just Mark is the more powerful card at this point, and there's a chance that the 1/4 will wheel. Alright, so nothing special for the abilities. There's the 2/3, which we're gonna take. None of the faction allies matter. There's a Hellbore, which is very unexciting, and there's 2 quests that we like in the monster deck. So let's take the Felguard Marauder. We really just want to shore up our early game because Monster is really good at the late game. So Monster has a lot of options later. I don't really worry about that, but considering we have 2 marks, we don't really want to jump ship for either of the other ally removals. But we could use a big beater or a quest. And either are fine because we don't have either. I'd rather have an ally over a quest. I think if you've played this game enough, you know what to row in each particular case, which makes quest a little bit less valuable. So having more allies doesn't ever hurt you. But I mean, the monster deck does want 6 to 7 quests, so I can't just ignore them completely. Here's, if I wasn't tied to Druid so heavily with 2 marks, I would consider Soul Trap. I could take the Chieftain, but not very exciting. I think the best pick for us here is just the quest. And I think both the monster allies have a chance of coming back in this pack. This pack just wasn't very strong. This pack offers a lot of options. Kind of makes... We could have went Hunter and had some pretty good success. Like, there's a Fury Storage. There was an Arrow Strike. I don't even know if that's the name. I don't know if it's called Arrow Strike, but it's the 1-cost ability that deals 4. Or deals as a 5 to a 4-drop or higher. The card's pretty good. It deals 4 to 1-drop or 4-drop or higher. There's a Lava Strike, which is good in the monster Shaman deck. just because this is what you need early, and then your flips will win you the game later. I'm just going to take a 4-drop here. So the quest did come back, and so did the Terror Guard. I'm just going to take the Terror Guard here because I do have a lot of demons as it is right now. And the Shivra can buy back. The Keating Shivra is a demon herself, and then I also have 2 Marauders, so that can be more demons to sacrifice. So I like that. Archival Purposes is the pick here. Because we just, right now we want quests, we want good allies. We have good abilities so far with 2 marks. Alright, and the child came back, so that's exactly what we would want. It's a good sign that we're the only monster players. So right now we're hoping for some of the good monster 5-drops and 4... yeah, really just the monster 5-drops like Trog or Strong Root. The 1/9 protector that keeps readying for every monster you have. Or every time a opposing hero or ally attacks, it readies it. Then it can protect other monsters. Easy pick here with the quest. Oh, Aerostorm. I guess nobody's Hunter if we're seeing Aerostorms this late, or else somebody's just really greedy. I'm just going to keep slamming down quests because that's, it's a pretty clear game path right now. I'll take a weapon since it's the hardest card for us to interact with out of these. I wrote about volatile poison in one of my articles, and I said it was pretty bad because there's no weapons, but people pointed out it's playable with Edwin Van Cleef, and I've tried it, and it's actually, the times I cast it was pretty good, so I had to take that back. Given the choice between these 2 cards, I'm going to play it and take the one I can play. This draft seems like it's going pretty well for us because we wheeled what we thought we would want. Plus, we just picked up a lot of the monsters we need to fill in. So right now, we're really looking for good 5-drops. There's a Garrosh, which is annoying. I don't want to play against it, so I could hate it. I have so many cards right now that I could waste a hate pick there, which might be correct. I could take the Child of Goldrin, which, like I said before, I feel is like a 3-cost blitz that could be played by any class. Let's see. At this point, I don't have a good answer. Trigger Roche. And I have 3 3-drops, so passing the Goldrin is fine. I'm just going to take a hate draft here. There's multiple monsters in this pack that I want, so leaving the Goldrin is fine, because if I wheel like this Jadefire Nether, that would be perfectly fine by me. Oh, sweet. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh, I'm in love with this pack. Can I just keep this pack and not draft anymore? This pack fills out our curve perfectly, so it's not really a thought, but I'm always going to take Lions, Tigers, and Bears. I could try to pass it and wheel it, but that kind of seems greedy. Like, I know what I'm getting out of Lions, Tigers, and Bears. I don't want to waste that pick. Any of the allies are awesome for me, but I'm looking to get one of these. Strong Root, the Jadefire, Soul Stealer, or the Unstoppable Abyssal. Just because it shores up my late game. And then we get Nightfall, which is funny because I think that's a card you typically don't pass. So that is a card I would consider hating. There's a Sinister Watcher, which I don't really need because I got a lot of other demon 2-drops as it is. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 2-drops. I could take the 2-drop. I think somebody is Warlock, but that's fine. I guess I just got to pass it and hope not to play against it, or just make them use it on my ally instead of just killing my hero. What I'm planning to do is take the Sinister Watcher, just because it's a 2-drop Dreamin that works with my Shivra, and then I'll think it's wheel this Legion, which is just a big dude that kills them, so... Seems like a good choice, right? Alright, well, easy slam dunk pick here is the Keeper. I mean, there's not many other 4-drops you could really hope for. This guy has an ability on a 4-drop body, so has 2 big pluses working for him. So really, we kind of just want to see what we can wheel, which is Helm of Thorns, the Doomsmith, or Documenting the Time Waste. I guess Helm of Thorns is probably the one I want the most. Child of Goldrun this late would get me excited in like a Worlds draft. So I think this is kind of a gift. I think the Mossbark will wheel, just because I think I'm the only monster player. So we'll take the Child of Goldrun. If it doesn't wheel, the quest would be a fine pickup for us, considering we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quests, and we really want 6 or 7. What we're hoping for is like a big 6-drop in one of these next 2 picks. A big 6 or 7 or 8-drop. Like just a solid finisher. The best 6-drop would be the Rare Pig. And then the best 8-drop would be the Iron Cutter. Well, I mean, Firecaller is obviously just better than Eye of Legion, but we have a sub-demon theme here going on with the Terror Guard and that other Legion that might come back. So there are arguments to take the Eye of the Legion over that. But this guy's just big. Like, once you have 4 cards, I'm going to take this guy. I have Legions. I have a feeling will come back. I could take the Signet just to get card draw. I don't need it. I'm going to take Strike. I don't do anything on turn 1, so having a way to kill, like, Ogremar Grunts or the 2/1 Night Elf that gets bigger for Night Elves seems more powerful to me. Not a big fan of Signet. I've tried it out in a couple drafts. I don't know if it was just the way the draft worked out. Well, you know, 1-drops are the hardest thing to come by in Monsters, so getting one this late is good for us. I'm going to take it. I could take another Firecaller, though I don't know if I need him. I do have a lot of 4-drops. The Strong Root came back, which is just awesome, considering if you can get one of those marks on it, it's unstoppable. Unstoppable Abyssal is a demon. I could want to take that, but I have enough 4-drops. I think the demon is just better. Or the 1/9 protector is just better. We have a demon sub-theme, so taking Legion Fell Reaver is a fine pick. The equipment came back. I really need one more quest still. I don't need the equipment, but it's nice to have if I want it. I could always play Vainglorious as my 6th quest. I'm going to take the equipment and hope to still get another card drawing quest somewhere. Oh, and that's a slam dunk easy pick. There's a lot of late stuff going on here, like this 5/4. These quests are, I mean, Path is terrible, but these cards are even worse, so. Plus, Path can go in other people's decks, and it's always sweet when you see them rowing face down. So, let's just take the quest. We'll take the card that's playable for us, which is Signet. I guess we could have hated the Ruthless Execution, but considering it's second from last, it doesn't seem like anybody's warrior. Usually if you're warrior, you want as many Ruthless Executions as you can get because it's one of your better cards. And the last pick is Blinding Rage, which, who cares? It's just going in our side deck. So overall, it's pretty straightforward draft. I think it's pretty powerful. We have 2 copies of Mark of Malorn. Alliance Tigers and Bears. We hate drafted Garrosh. We have a good curve. We have enough quest. I mean, I really could only ask for more of the monster allies that have come into play abilities, like the 5/6 tree or more strong roots, stuff like that. But overall, I think that my deck is good enough to go 3-0, and I guess we'll play a couple games and see if that's true. We'll look out for those games below.